guess. Jericho, right, exactly. We're looking at Jericho, the lowest city in the world. All right, Dead Sea is right over there. Here's Jericho. A lot of people, when they see Jericho, a lot of question pops to mind: where's the casino? There used to be a big casino in Jericho. So if you look really at the start of Jericho, there's one tall building that stands out. Right, so that was the casino in Jericho. Since we're out of business and it's no longer working, but that's where it was. To the left over here is a small settlement. It's called Mitzpeh, which literally means the view of Jericho. It's a Jewish settlement right above Jericho. A little bit beyond it, below the next mountain. No, Improv. We'll get to Improv. It's a step further that way. So Mitzpeh, the view of Jericho, and Jericho. The valley is right. There's a Jordan Valley right beneath us. The mountains across from us are the Jordanian mountains, right? That's already Jordan, and we see here very clearly is the northern part of the Dead Sea. All right, so from the Dead Sea, going up north is the Jordan River. We can't really see it now also because there's not much water in it, and it's very hard to see, but the Jordan River, and about the halfway point of the Dead Sea is basically the border between Israel and Jordan. Everyone sees that small, like, little building in the middle of the desert over there with kind of like a white roof.
Yeah.
Everybody got that?
Yeah.
All right. So that's a mosque and a cemetery. It's called in Arabic Nebi Musa, which literally means Moses the prophet. What happened was the Muslims, Islam comes to Israel, and they're looking for holy places in Israel. They're a new religion. They need to have their own holy spots in the Holy Land. And they come to the Judean desert, and they find Jews praying in that direction. They go over the Jews praying over there, and they say, well, where are you praying to? What are you praying for? And they say, we are praying towards Moses' burial spot. And they say, wow, that's great. That can work for us. And they put a mosque right there in the middle, and it's called Nebi Musa. Only later do they open the Bible, and if we read the story carefully, Moses never entered Israel, which means there's no way he could have been buried over there. And what the Jews were actually praying towards, or towards the Jordanian mountain, where the Bible says Moses stood and looked into Israel, and God told him this is the land of Israel that he doesn't go into, and he's buried, we don't know where, but on one of those mountains over there. But the mosque's already built, and it stays there. It's semi-operational till today. There's always, you see a car or two over there. That's Nebi Musa. Keep moving to the right. You see in that valley over there, it looks like a small settlement. Everyone's got it?
Yeah.
All right, and it goes by the same name. It's also called Nebi Musa. It's the same area. And that's an Israeli army training facility. All right, most of the Israelis' army training happens in the desert, usually a little further down south in the Negev. But the desert provides them with the open spaces where they can practice in live fire without risking anyone getting hurt or hurting any property or anything like that. So that's that base over there. If you look at the base to the left of it, there's a mountain, and then beyond that mountain looks like there are small squares carved out in the ground. Anyone see what I'm talking about? We have the base. Take a little bit to the left. There's a mountain, and beyond that mountain,
yes.
you see kind of like squares carved out in the. Everybody got that?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so those are the shooting range for that base. Basically, if you're trying to imagine, they're shooting towards the Dead Sea, and each small little trench that kind of looks like it's built into smaller squares is each distance. I think it's 50, 100, 300 if I remember correctly. And that's all part of the training facility, also called Nebi Musa. Keep moving to the right. All right, then we have the largest mountain we can see, and then beyond it we see like a start of a small amount of houses over there, start of a city. That's Bethlehem. All right, that's already that way. Moving to the right, big city right in front of us is Ma'ale Adumim. Ma'ale Adumim is basically the biggest settlement outside of beyond the 67 borders. It's actually a city. Has about 40,000 people living in it today. Move down is a small industrial zone that belongs to Ma'ale Adumim, and then you move a little to the right. Looks like another like small settlement over there. Everyone know what I'm talking about? There's the lowest one, right? It's like a long strip. The start of it on the left of it looks like it's like warehouses.
Yeah.
So that's the industrial zone. And the more you move to the right, it gets a little greener, and there's a little red roof over there.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone's with me till now? All right. So that is another army training facility. It belongs to a military unit called Duvdevan. if anyone's ever heard of it. Literally means cherry, but doesn't really have anything to do with the unit. Duvdevan is one of the most elite army units in Israel. They specialize in, they go into Arab villages dressed up in makeup and as Arabs, and that's how they make their arrests. They have a very, very well-developed makeup department. I've had a few friends who served there, and once what they did this evening when they finished their training, they invited all the parents for a special dinner, and they had this whole dinner and everything. And then at the end of the night, all the waiters stood in line and basically washed their faces off, and they were served all night by their own children, who were all dressed up in makeup, and they did not recognize them. So that's what they do. They dress up as Arabs, and they go into Arab villages and make arrests. If you skip to the right of that, there's another small little bit of greenery and a small little settlement over there, it looks like. It's called Givat HaMiyasdim, Founders Hill. It's the original Ma'ale Adumim. That's where it started. Then around 30 years ago, it jumped to the left, and it's the big city we see over there. Anyone heard on the news about E1? Anyone heard about that? Building an E1, not building an E1? All right, so we take Ma'ale Adumim, we go all the way to the bottom. There's a small circle of houses at the bottom, really bottom of Ma'ale Adumim. And then we jump forward, so there's a small rectangular building that stands alone in the smack in the middle of the mountain. Everyone sees it?
Oh yeah.
All right, so that hill over there where that one building is, and that building's a police station, that's E1 that you hear about in the news when discussing if they're gonna build, not build. And the mountains beyond that is Jerusalem. So they're talking about they're creating an urban strip from Ma'ale Adumim to Jerusalem. So that's that mountain that's talked about in the news. Now you can all say you've seen it.